Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Cinema is complete and utter garbage now. And especially last year when there was so much garbage out of a dumpster. It was like a landfill, and I lost count how many times I have felt asleep, or left early. It's a fucking joke. But today I will cover up the worst 2024 had to offer. Some that I exposed already and some that I didn't. You have to be borderline mental to subject yourself to these trash movies or TV shows. I'm talking about Looney Tunes kind of wacky. Seeing these films has lowered my IQ points by at least 10% each. Yes, you heard it. It made someone as great as me dumber, as if it's a voodoo spell. Jameson, the king of cinema, the king of YouTube, who needs no introduction. Shout out to the ones that support me financially or in general, and the ones that don't. You simply do not matter to me at the slightest. But back on topic, I don't like to make my audience wait, so let's get this list started. So right off the bat we're already beginning with the bang, starting with Dune 2. Fuck this movie. It made me appreciate the art of dry paint. This movie can be used as a literal interrogation technique, the best one there is. Makes the suspect confess instantly the moment he hears the name. Dune 2. My god, I don't even know where to begin with this garbage. First of all, Dune starting from the books is awful. I remember when I first read that shit 2 decades ago, and let me tell you, it went straight to my toilet. I wouldn't even use those pages to wipe my bare ass. It was already clear that the studio behind it had no faith in this movie. So they had to pay off all the critics to get morons like you to watch this garbage. Same thing happened with the original film, which happened 4 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. And I don't wanna remember. And then there's you clowns claiming that this piece of trash is the greatest sci-fi film of the century. Outclassed Star Wars by a mile. Like, get the fuck out of here. What did you see on this film that I didn't? And I'm not asking that because I felt asleep 30 minutes into the movie, but where did this Dune hype came from? History repeats itself, and Dune prophecy, you motherfuckers said the same thing. Do I really have to read the books to understand this praise? Have you seen how long they are? It's literally bigger than all the chapters of the Bible. It's a great wall of China of text. Nobody gonna read all of this, it's ginormous. I probably end up like a skeleton if I ever attempt to read the entire books. So as far from what I've seen from this film, garbage. Let this franchise die already so that humanity can move forward. So up next on the list is the garbage known as Arcane Season 2. Oh boy, we're getting more horrible writing by multiple people, yet it still looks like a story you see on fanfiction.net, much like its first season. Arcane Season 2 was abysmal. League of Legends should be the last video game to ever get a TV show. The game already is a method of torture. Watching this show felt pretty much the same. When watching this show, time passes like a kidney stone. It was slow, painful, and felt like it's going on forever. The moment the credits rolled is the moment you kiss the floor and scream hallelujah. I can't believe how low your standards dropped to enjoy garbage like this. I wouldn't even recommend my worst enemy this TV show. I ain't even that sadistic. Arcane Season 2 was so bad that it gave me physical pain watching the awful art style, these abhorrent characters, the bad story. It was a recipe of low-grade garbage. The amount I've cringed watching this goes on par with Manchester City's charges. Thank God I only watched it once and never again. If you like Arcane Season 2, you're on a need for desperate help. Arcane Season 2. To sum it up, it was indescribably horrid. Next up is Bad Boys Ride or Die. Are they seriously still doing these terrible films? Bad Boys Ride or Die? This movie made me wanna ride off a cliff and die. Oh my lord, free me from Will Smith and Martin Fitzgerald Lawrence. These two are just incapable of being entertaining. We got Will Smith, the fruity cuckold whose wife with alopecia openly cheated on him for someone else, likely due to his career being in the gutter since Men in Black, and then we have Martin Lawrence, the guy who played on one of the worst films I have ever seen. If you find the likes of Big Mama's House and Black Knight to be entertaining, your taste is beyond bad. Just stay away from me. Bad Boys was never good. The praise it got was completely artificial, and the fact that they paid off the critics which they say this movie is good and blah blah blah. No, it's not. Go watch Fast and the Furious. Now that's a film for people with great taste such as myself. Good thing it's good never ending. I heard there's like 20 more Fast and Furious movies and I can't wait to see all of them. Even at its worst, Fast and Furious still beats Bad Boys when it comes to quality, star power, story, characters, you name it. Bad Boys Ride or Die can go ride an iron-heated dildo. This movie sucks. So next up on this list is Furiosa, a poor attempt to make a Mad Max film, without Mad Max. It's like you buy a burger from Burger King without the burger. It's like Mario Kart without the karts. What the hell were they thinking? This movie has so many plot holes, so many problems, but the fact that they made a Mad Max movie without Mad Max already says enough. Absolute garbage. Just like the Mad Max franchise, garbage. Next up on the list is Squid Game Season 2. I wouldn't watch this even if you paid me your salary. Calling Squid Game Season 2 trash is an understatement. I can't imagine enjoying a show that's so predictable. Even when you skip a segment of an episode, you will still be caught up with the story. This is the first time I have ever heard of a TV show that you are ahead of its shoddy story than the show itself. Its story structure was made so foreseeable that there's basically no point on watching this if you already watched Season 1. No, seriously, you can predict almost anything. The plot holes, who is gonna be toast, the plans of the characters. You can tell the actors are only there to cash in. Like, how can you look so unfazed when the consequences of losing a game is having your head blown off, as if they've see this every day? It's a fucking joke. Squid Game Season 2, more like mid-lame Season 2. What a fucking garbage show. How much of a brain-dead idiot do you have to be to enjoy this? That could never be me. Next up is the try-hard wannabe horror movie Nosferatu. Oh, Robert Eggers, how could you? How dare you to release this film to the big screen? This movie was so bad that it was genuinely offensive. This movie should offend you. But as usual, the Eggers fanboys had to eat this slop up like a turkey in Thanksgiving. These vermin are the bane of cinematography. No one thinks you're cool for watching his garbage movies. His movies are like a car crash. It's terrible, but you can't stop looking at it. I'm actually shocked a movie this bad has been greenlit. Watching this film is like your dad reading the newspaper, which he ended up sleeping on the couch. This movie was trash. The original Nosferatu was a boring piece of junk. This one ain't any different. This movie is not a horror film, it's more like porn for gothic girls. I mean, this movie already made me wanna slit my wrist. There's nothing scary about this film. It wasn't frightening. There was no tense moments that made you cover your eyes with your own hands. It was a low-grade cash grab. And that is a fact, not an opinion. You have to be the biggest pussy in the world to find this scary. I bet even Steve Urkel has more testosterone than you. These Eggers films are like the modern-aged Twilight. Absolute garbage. Next up is Gladiator 2. What a horrible movie. Ridley Scott is a hack of a director. I'm not going full-on depth about it. I have already an amazing review on this trash-ass film. However, I will say that in short, this movie was a cheap cash grab. They knew you knuckle-dragging apes will watch it. Yeah, I'll love the first one so much, so might as well do what comes natural. They have cashed in hard, which made you fanboys the punchline to their joke. Ridley wants to discredit superhero movies. Bitch, how about you don't make a shoddy fight scene with water and sharks all over the Colosseum? What a fucking joke. Next up is Inside Out 2. And if there's one animation studio that squeezes every single drop from a dead cow, it has to be Pixar. This movie was only hyped by either 9-year-old Scooby-Doo toilet fans or Disney adults. Imagine still watching Disney movies in 2024. That's pathetic. You idiots were praising this garbage for no reason. It wasn't even good at all. Terrible narrative, terrible animation, annoying characters. Like, even for a kids movie, this movie was beyond childish. Kids aren't laughing with the movie, kids were laughing at it, because even they knew how bad it was. To them it was so bad it was good, but to me it was just bad. Not even bad, it was horrible. The best part was when the credits rolled. No debate about it. How did Disney went from good movies like Frozen 2 to landfill garbage like this? This movie was everything wrong with modern Pixar. They're so devoid on new ideas that they use the old nostalgia trick to get you hooked up watching your favorite characters being on the big screen again after so long. It's scary how it actually works. A high success on the box office. Nostalgia is controlling your brains. Wake up, you ignorant sheep. My God. Next up is Dexter: The Original Sin, an edgy TV show made by the loneliest incels on 4chan, only watched by gothic chicks to fantasize about a sexy killer who would never hurt them. Was this the solution to let the masses forget that god-awful ending? A prequel? That Michael C. Hall didn't even get to play the role of Dexter? My God, no wonder Showtime uploaded the first episode for free. Dexter has always been a utter mess, unlike You on Netflix, that not only had an actual coherent story and likable characters, but You, unlike Dexter New Blood, actually had a good ending. This is why no one takes Showtime seriously. They ruined their own characters. Dexter smirks too much, which already makes him look more dorky than he already is. Is this supposed to be the guy that kills people? It's as believable as a flying pig that can puke out rainbows. New Blood flopped so hard it wasn't even funny, which it only had a 6.1 on Metacritic, and even then I thought that was too high with an ending like that. This show has the integrity of spit laying on the floor. You Dexter fangirls are the same people that would claim you can quote-unquote fix Dexter. If you like Dexter, you're a idiot. The only way I could enjoy this show is with 6 glasses of hard liquor, so that I'll be too drunk to even remember anything of this try-hard edgy plot written by a 14-year-old dork that uses soy jack.party lingo on YouTube. Watch You on Netflix. That is leagues ahead of Dexter. It is a sin to like a show this bad. Go repent yourself. Your bad taste is the reason I'm ashamed to be a fan of TV shows. This show has no depth. It is not cool at the slightest. You have to be a pimp-faced geek to find garbage like Dexter Original Sin to be cool. I tell you what it is. It's a poorly made parody of an already bad TV show. Do not watch unless you hate yourself. And those are the highlights of the worst movies and TV shows 2024 had to offer. And once again I am sick that the standards have dropped harder than an old person with polio. And you know what's the worst part? This is only like 75% of the dumpster. Yes, there's more. However, I won't explain why they suck because this video would be way too long, which would cause your TikTok brains to be fried like KFC chicken. And besides that, I will not waste more time on trash shows and movies. So to quickly call them out, Kraven the Hunter absolute garbage, Monet 2 trash, Wicked, below mediocre but it's passable, Deadpool and Wolverine, only good when you're on psychedelics, WrestleMania 40. The rating speaks for itself. Cocky Rhodes is the worst champion since Kevin Owens. Inora fixed my insomnia. And that folks is 100% of the dumpster. I really hope 2025 will be better. But since there's a new John Wick movie coming out of Hollywood since I highly doubt it. Everything on this list is all objectively bad. And if you disagree with anything on this list, well, you are simply an idiot. I hope you realize one day that buying tickets to watch these garbage movies or paying subscriptions to watch these shows causes the destruction of film. I don't want to take part on the likes of you. I can foretell that you apes will bitch and moan in the comments like you usually do, and be a contrarian loser by disagreeing with the facts. And as petty as that sounds, I really don't care. The moment this video is uploaded, I will lay on a bench with my Cartier sunglasses on a sunny day on the beach, my type of vacation. So without further ado, I really hope you clowns learned something. The king of YouTube will be back on February or hell even early March, I don't know. But until then my duty is done, which means I'm heading out.